Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, and in today's video we are going to do an unboxing and sort of a review of this power supply. So let's get right into it. So in the title of this video you've probably seen that this is a Fractal design power supply. Just to give you the specific name, this is the Fractal design Ion Gold 750 watt power supply, and this is actually a fully modular one and it's 80 plus gold. So that's pretty good. It's not the top of the range, but it's really decent. And I think 750 watts is really a sweet spot when it comes to power supplies. Alright, first off I have to say that this boxing is actually looking really good. So let me just quickly take the plastic off, but while I do that I can go over just why I like this. So let's quickly talk about why I love just this packaging. Well, it is really simple and not in a bad way. I actually like it being this simple because they give you the information that you need. If you want to find something, you can easily find it. It's not just crowded with a lot of numbers and just list and list of stuff that you don't really need. So for instance, if you want to know what connectors there is on this power supply and how many of them are, well, it's right on the back of the box. So right here at the bottom you will see it gives you a full list of all the connectors. So let's quickly run through it. First off, we have one 8-pin ATX 12 volts, so that's EPS. So this is just literally just a full 8-pin set that goes to your CPU power. Then you have an additional one which is actually two 4-pins. So this one you can split because most motherboards either have just a 4-pin, not these days anymore, they have an 8-pin. But then if you go a little bit higher range motherboard, then you would have like an 8-pin and a 4-pin, and the really higher end motherboards have actually two 8-pins. Alright, then next up we have got 4 PCIe 8-pin power plugs, so that is 6 plus 2, so you've got 4 of them. Then you have obviously your 1 24-pin, then you've got 8 SATA, and you've got 3 Molex. Right, so let's continue with the unboxing. So it's fairly like a standard design these days. You have this tab that you pull down, and then you can open up the box. Right, and very neat, inside we have a bag, and in here we have the manual or the user guide, and this is actually a very thick manual and it is in a variety of languages. I'm not going to go through all of them. Then you get 4 screws for your power supply, so some cases don't include screws for the power supply, so in here you have, or you just have some spares. Then you also have these 3 Velcro straps, so they're actually very nice if you want to cable manage just all of the cables. So you can tie them to the case somewhere, you can just bundle them together and tie them with that. So that's a very nice feature to have, all these Velcro straps. Alright, then next up we have all the cables. Now as I said in the beginning of this video, this is a fully modular power supply. So what that means is you can actually order custom cables for these, not extensions, actually like full custom cables. So you don't have to have like unnecessarily long cables in your system, because I know the other power supplies that do not have, that's not fully modular, you have to basically, you can't just get a new cable and plug it into the power supply and into your motherboard or graphics card or whatever. You actually have to get an extension, and then if you have all of those extensions, it becomes a real mess to cable manage all of that, and just to find place to put all the cables, because some cases the power supply is shrouded at the bottom, there isn't one, or it's really small, especially if hard drives in there or something like that. So this is really nice about this power supply, and the cables that comes with this power supply is actually not that bad, and I'll show you in a second. Alright, so as you can see from here we have a whole pile of cables. So the nice thing about these cables is they're actually like next to each other, if I can express myself. Let me open one and I can really show you what I mean. Alright, so right here we have the cable, and as you can see it is nice and flat. It's not in a bundle, so if I can maybe show you from the side, this is how it looks like. And then all of them are just like a flat line cable, and this is really nice. So this, for instance, is for your CPU. Yeah, this is EPS. So if you want to route this, you can actually really nicely route this around to your motherboard, like something like this, for instance. So as you can see here, they stay very nicely together. So other cables, they normally like bundle them up and make them like cord or like conventional, just like circular, just bundle them all together. And that's really hard to make that look good. But for this, for instance, you can really easily make that look good, and then it flows down with the motherboard tray at the back if you go with this route of plugging it in like this into your motherboard. So yeah, that's what's really nice about these cables. And even for your for your graphics card. So let's say doesn't matter if you have a vertical mount or a horizontal mount. If you plug, obviously you would use your EPS for that, your PCIe, you would use your PCIe power for that, so this one right here. You can easily plug that in and make also a nice route with your cables. So if you have like a vertical mount, you can plug them in like this and run them to the back very nicely, or if you have a horizontal mount, you can plug them in, maybe you want to run underneath the graphics card, and that just creates a good look. So if you have more than one, you can decide, do you want to stack them up onto each other so that they form basically something like this. That would look pretty neat, or you can just then obviously take them next to each other, which I would prefer actually, just to keep the symmetry in there. So one thing to keep in mind are the cable lengths. So I'm going to put something on the screen here just to show you all the cable lengths, because there's just one thing that it almost caught me, and that is the 24 pin. So let me quickly show you that. So right here we have the 24 pin, and as you can see, this cable is not that long. Now in my case, this was actually like the perfect length. I didn't check this before I bought these power supplies, and I bought two of them, by the way. One is not for me, one is actually for someone else. But yeah, so this end goes into your power supply, and then this end obviously goes into your motherboard. So what happened to me is I wanted to plug this in, and this was literally the perfect length, and the connectors just about reached in, and the cable is like straight all the way to the 24 pin. And the other thing I don't like about this cable is just look at this cable and then look at this one. They look completely different. This is the style that I hate. I don't like this. They just bundle everything together, and the worst part is they have like this, what do you call this, heat shrink over here, and you can actually see they put some sort of hot glue or something in there, and it's literally like just oozing out of there, and it's obviously set solid now, but it doesn't look that good. Especially this end will go into your motherboard, so that is literally what you will see. That looks disgusting. Actually, I really don't like it. So yeah, that is quite disappointing, seeing that all the other cables are literally, they are so nice and I want to say perfect almost, and then you have this cable and you can't do nothing about this. You have to have the 24 pin in. You can't really hide this piece because most of them, the connectors go in straight. Like if this was the motherboard, the connectors go in straight. There are some of them that go in at a 90-degree angle, but the majority of motherboards go in like straight on. So then you would have this nasty bend. So you would have something like this, and that doesn't look good in my opinion at all. And then you see this heat shrink part and the glue that's there, and you can't really take that out because it's against the cable. So yeah, I wouldn't try to scratch that out. I won't take that risk to cutting a cable or something like that. Yeah, this doesn't look good. The rest of them look absolutely great, but this is kind of disappointing. And then obviously the length, I would have loved this to be just a little bit longer, especially for, yeah, if I wanted to route the cable a different way or something like that, then it wouldn't have worked. So I was really lucky in my case that this was the perfect length. All right, next we have the power supply. So the power supply actually comes in a very nice, like this foam holding it in place, so it won't get damaged. And then it also comes in its own bag, just to keep it from getting scratched and all that. So this is the part I'm actually really excited about. So this is the back of the power supply. So this will be the side that goes to the outside. Obviously there's where you plug in your power, and there's just the switch, the on-off switch for the power supply. And then just look at this. Just look at how it's very simple. On the back here you have all the information that you need. So basically what power supply this is, the 80 plus gold rating. It tells you all about the AC input and the DC output, and then the max amperage, the combined, the total. Yeah, this just gives you all the information that you need. Then on the opposite side of that, we have the place where you would plug in all of your modular cables. So you might not be able to pick this up on the camera, very nice. But in here we have the 24 pin, that's clearly labeled. Then we have the ATX 12 volt, that is clearly labeled. And then down here we have the SATA and peripheral, so that would be for all your SATA power and for the Molex. And then actually we have another 3 ports here for ATX 12 volt and PCIe. So yeah, that's clearly labeled right here. Then we have another label right here just with some serial numbers and stuff like that on. Not really that important. And obviously we have a big fan in this thing, so I don't think this will overheat at all, and I believe this will be really quiet. And just look at how compact this unit is. So it isn't that long. It's only 750 watts, but it's fully modular. So this is really nice. It's a beautiful power supply looking at it. So that is actually why I ended up using this in my own build, just because this side was just so clean looking. The previous power supply I had like some nasty lettering in there, and it clashed really badly with the rest of my system. It was all kind of like green and red and white, and that didn't fit with the rest of my system being like literally matte black chrome, and I normally put my LEDs on blue or something like that. So it was really standing out, and since I've switched it, my system it looks so much better. Just the small details can really make your system just worlds better. But yeah, that's all for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Oh, and also I have merch, so you can check that out down in the description below. And I'll leave a link to where I bought this power supply. Oh yeah, there's a 7-year warranty on this power supply if I haven't mentioned that yet. So that is great. So for 7 years you're covered if this power supply goes bad, which it rarely does, but anyway, you have that, so that is great. And that's all from me for today, guys. I hope you stay safe, and until the next video, bye bye.